Now it's Wednesday, so I'm delighted to say that we're joined by a familiar expert who's going to answer some of your questions. Dr. Bharat Pankhania is a specialist in public health, but he doesn't work for the government, so he is independent. He's in Bath tonight. How are you keeping?
Very well, and thank you for asking. I hope you're also well.
Yes, trying to be. Thank you so much. We've got a number of questions for you. Ian says, I'm a driver for the hospital bus service. Should I keep the windows open to stop coronavirus spreading on the bus?
Ian, that's a very good question, and I'm surprised you're asking, because that is very obvious and very true. And I tell you, Ian, when I used to take a lot of taxis a couple of months, 2-3 months ago, I was giving that advice out to all the taxi drivers that I sat in the front with. And then I actually started to sit in the back of the taxi on my way to, for example, BBC Points West. So please keep your window open. Furthermore, if you want to go and get a mask, that's not a bad idea as well. And finally, keep that vehicle of yours clean after every trip if you can. It's important to keep it clean, keep the window, keep it ventilated.
Okay, good advice, thank you. Now, Andy says his partner has tested positive for coronavirus. He tried hard not to get it by social distancing with her at home, but now he does have the symptoms. So he says, should they continue to stay apart? He's worried about what is called the viral loading. Will it be worse if they're together, or do they just think, well, to heck with it, we might as well stay together?
It obviously looks like one has been a case before the other. And what you really want to do is keep the two cases separate. I appreciate that one case will get better and be deemed to be free. On the other hand, there is the other person who has now become a case. So the best strategy would be keep your separate distances whilst both of you independently recover, and then you can rejoin as a unit. But please also allow yourself a longer time. So don't just say 7 days, that's it. You should be guided with, am I now symptom free? And only when you feel you're symptom free do you then decide to join up, rather than to say 7 days is over, I'm going to link up now. I hope that helps.
Okay, and this issue about viral load, if you touch something and you get a lot of it on your hands and you touch your face, does that make the illness worse than if you just had a little brush against some of the virus?
Yeah, the science of this is obviously out for debate and consultation, but empirically, I would say the higher the load, the greater the chance that the disease will set up inside your lungs and your body and then cause you illness. So I would say, empirically speaking, from just first principles of science, the greater the viral load, the greater the chance that you will have the illness. And then with regard to will it be severe or not, that depends on your personal circumstances.
Okay, Richard has a question close to my heart. How likely am I to catch the virus from a takeaway?
The chances, relax, Richard, and enjoy your takeaway. What I would do is make sure that when you take delivery of the takeaway, you make sure that the outside packages, etc., are cleaned, or better still, and I've always advised this, wash your hands and then wash your hands again before you eat. Washing your hands before eating is much better than worrying about, is the food contaminated? Highly unlikely.
Okay, a couple of quickies, please, Doctor. Margaret says she's worried about all these people wearing gloves in supermarkets. She's concerned it may increase the chances of the virus being spread to others.
No, sometimes these glove wearing can be, shall we say, risk compensation. And what you really want to do is wash your hands, keep yourself clean. Just wearing gloves which are dirty is pointless. So I would stay away from it. Wash your hands instead.
Okay, and just one other. If you talked briefly about masks, what's your recommendation now?
Well, the Centers for Disease Control and other countries are suggesting that we wear masks in public places, and I concur with them, as well as the evidence that we've now got, which is in crowded places, it would be a good idea to be wearing a mask so that you don't infect that person, and that person, if they are infected and infectious, doesn't give you a direct hit and make you infected. So it's not a bad idea in public places, crowded public places especially.
OK, thank you so much for that. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe, won't you? And your garden's looking great too. You've obviously been working hard. And the doctor will be with us again next Wednesday. I hope you're coping with these difficult days and staying strong. Don't worry if you have a wobble. We all do from time to time.